So at Sprouting Minds Education, we believe that social emotional skills are the overarching element in order to for children to be happy, confident, and successful little learners.
That is the most important thing, and that is probably our main goal at Sprouting Minds, is to develop this part of their learning. So we ultimately want to create children that are happy, because happy children learn. And that ultimately is so simple, but so true as well. So we want to really create an environment that can, in order for them to be able to interact with peers, to create meaningful relationships, to create a positive self-image, and to be really in control of their emotions. And the experiences that we provide in the classroom, we hope that really does support and really develop these areas.
So the way that we really try and develop this in the classroom at Sprouting Minds is by first of all having small class sizes. We have created this environment where class sizes will only ever be a small number, and this number allows us to both be able to facilitate so much of what's going on with their learning, and most importantly, the communication that we have with the children and that they have with each other. We're able to facilitate some of the learning that goes on with their social interactions with each other and their conversations that happen with each other, especially in situations like small world play and role play situations, where they're stepping into new roles and becoming different people, and it's imaginative play, which some children actually find quite difficult to do. We also have, we also believe it's important to really model wanted behaviour as well, and talk about elements like sharing and how to facilitate conversations when a child might not want to share their activity with someone else, and reactions to that as well, and talking about things in a positive spin, and instead of saying don't do that, or you need to share with that person, or don't talk to that person like that, we try and always spin our feedback to the students in a positive way, and
we try to catch them doing the right thing.
And if they are doing something that is an unwanted behaviour, we like to turn it on its head and say, I really loved the way you did that. That was fantastic, and wait for a time when they do show that wanted behaviour and really emphasise that to the child.
Absolutely. So I guess taking these strategies home, a lot of that you can also do with us. And we've also done activities in class, like when we did our social emotional balls. Beck wanted to talk about, but had forgotten.
Thank you for being my memory.
That's all right.
So one of our activities that we did that was really great was a ping-pong ball activity where we had emotion faces drawn on them, and we didn't have any...
Just like a little emoji face as a texture.
Just
very
a face.
Simple.
And the balls were floating in water in one of our play trays, and they used the handy scoopers to scoop out the ball and to have a look at the face. And this created lots of great discussions. Children were able to talk about what the feeling may be and name that feeling. They made lots of funny faces to try and imitate the faces on the balls.
As did we.
As did Zoe. And I think we have photographic evidence of this. And we also then, if they were ready for it, talked about a time when they may have experienced these certain types of emotions in their own life.
And then, if they were also ready for it, and obviously we've got to gauge at what stage of development and understanding they're at, but some of our children could then discuss with us, well, what could we do to cope with that feeling next time? Yeah, so if they were feeling frustrated or angry or sad, what could we do to feel better, to get back to that happy mood, or even just a calm and content emotion. So yeah, that activity was fantastic, and I guess that takes us to our next part, which is what you can do at home strategy. So you can definitely copy an activity similar to that. And also really just being aware of how young they are and being patient and understanding in the time that the children are taking to learn about emotions and controlling their emotions. They don't mean to be difficult for us. They are just kind of working out the world themselves, and we really need to give them that time and support to get through it. So really taking the time to identify emotions and talking about emotions. And I guess that is our most critical thing that we want to share, is that opportunity for discussion, to talk to your children about these feelings so that they're very familiar with them, and that they can say, as soon as they're feeling a bit they can say, I'm frustrated, rather than being like, I don't know what's wrong, I'm just going to get angry. And then you can say, well, what are you frustrated about? What can we do to help you feel better? So yeah, and I guess a great way is that growth mindset of ensuring that they understand that when they make mistakes, it's actually a fantastic opportunity to learn from those mistakes. And that is how we learn, is by trying, either failing or succeeding, and either way we learn from it. And usually we learn more when we have made a mistake anyway.
And to model this as adults as well, as parents, when they know that their parents can make a mistake and it's okay, it suddenly feels so much better that they can as well. And you can show that by modeling, oops, look what mummy did, silly mummy, that's okay. And talk about, what you can do to solve that problem, or what you could do next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So these sorts of ideas that Zoe has mentioned really lend themselves well to the printable that we'll be providing for you to use at home. And these printables will be emotion cards. And on those cards there will be a face, and there will be an emotion word above the face. Obviously, if you think the face may lend itself to another emotion, feel free to add some of your own as well. But these are a really good tool for children to start to identify that. And when I make this face, or when I look like this is how I'm feeling. This is the word that describes how I'm feeling. And to have these cards in a place around the house, somewhere where you can come back to all the time, for when they are having moments of big emotions, they might even start over time taking themselves to that place and picking the card that best shows how they're feeling, and having that conversation with them. And like Zoe mentioned before, this is how you're feeling, why are you feeling this way, and what can we do to overcome this and to feel better.
Yeah.
And especially at times when sometimes your child might get very upset and become non-verbal, doesn't want to talk about it, not in a position to have a conversation at that point in time. And this is where these cards are really great, because you can use these cards without having to talk about it in that very moment in time, but they might be able to point out how they're feeling. And that way you are aware, and you can come back to that when it's a better time to have a discussion, when they're feeling a bit calmer.
Absolutely. So yeah, those cards have got 3 different sets: the picture, the emotion, and also scenarios. So you can talk to them about different scenarios and ask them how they felt in those different times. So
you can come up with your own scenarios as well.
We hope that you get a lot out of them, and we'd love to hear from you if you do use them and how you use them in your home. So yeah, enjoy.
See you in the next video.